Perfect Talk is what it do. It's your man DJ Playboy back in the building once again. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let's go. This week we're going to talk about your man Donald Trump getting indicted. Also, we're going to talk about the tragic shooting that happened out in Nashville. We also going to talk about your man Jonathan Majors, a little update on his arrest. And finally, we're going to have Perfect Talk, Product Talk with my guy AmBro. You know what I mean? He's premiering a new video, and he's just going to talk about the whole process. So stay tuned. It's Perfect Talk, baby. What's good, Josh? Your man DJ Playboy back in the building once again. And you know I hate doing an episode without my guy, my dog, my partner.
Like
Keith, what's good, brother?
Chilling, man. What it is.
Life is good. Life is good, man. I told the people it's been a rocky couple of weeks. First off, we got to send shout out to our guy Spec. You know, he's been going through COVID. And he's been fighting it for a while. So, you know what I mean? I told the people that he couldn't make it. And then I told him you couldn't make it, but I wanted you to make the announcement when you came back. You know, some life-changing things, man. So I'll give the stage to you.
Yeah, man. I had a kid.
Sweet. Number two.
Yeah, no, the deuce. Yeah, a boy and a girl. It's cool, man. Just doing the bonding thing. She's about 2 weeks old at this point. So, you know, just busy doing a running around thing. Just came from a doctor's appointment. So
nah, that's dope, man. I'm happy for you, man. Definitely. And then it's crazy because I look back, I'm like, I remember 3 years ago, it was like he was the last one left.
Yeah.
my nigga, you the last one left. Now you got more kids than me.
Everybody had kids, and I didn't have no kids. It felt kind of cool, man. I'll be honest with you.
Freedom, right?
Yeah.
Have you felt that difference so far? I mean, with the one and now the two, like that freedom shift.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt about it. I definitely feel a change because you figure when you have one, when he's not with me, he's with my wife, and when he's not with my wife, he's with me. So like when he's with my wife, I'm gonna go do X, Y, Z. I'll be back. But now it's like the two, especially in this first month, is gonna be hard to balance the two. I mean, it's not impossible because people do it by themselves, but it's really hard. Like really,
more of a juggling act.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt about it. Plus, my son is not 2 yet, and he doesn't take commands all that well. So it's not like you can hold a baby and be like, hey, just go sit right there. Hey, turn the TV on. Like you gotta still do stuff for him too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I was saying that the other day, like the producer on the other podcast that we do, Ayo Nisha Friends, he was asking me, he's like, what's your daughter do when you record? And I'm like, I've been doing it for so long that she's so used to it that I'll just be like, yo, I'm recording right now. And she knows, keep the noise down. She's chilling. And I'm like, yeah, I definitely don't take that for granted because I remember when it wasn't like that. I couldn't just sit down somewhere. And yeah, it's awesome though. And it's a crazy feeling just to go from where you are with stage one to like where she's at now. She just started doing track and whatnot. You know what I mean? Like it definitely it goes fast, man, and it just brings things into perspective. You know
yeah, it's funny. That's one of them parenting cliches. I'm sure I'm going to be saying it, but you know me, man. I absolutely hate cliches. So, but I mean, it's true though, because every parent to a person says it goes fast. Everybody. I don't feel like hearing it, but hey, man, that's your little one. It goes fast. Get your ass out of here, man. I don't want it.
Because there's a connotation to it, like you're not appreciating it. And I'm loving it. I'm experiencing it, but it really does to the fact that I took a lot of pictures and I still feel like I didn't take enough. You know what I mean? Right. It's just like it's nutty. Even when she'll tell me what grade she's in, I'll be like, "You sure?" Like we've been doing this for that long, damn.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I mean, even my son, he's growing fast in these first. Well, kids in general grow fast. Like by the time you buy a pair of shoes, they grow out of it, and then like little stuff like that. Like, damn, man, like he's done with these shoes already, or now he got to get like real soles on his feet because now he's walking, like shit like that.
Oh, the growth spurt's ridiculous, man. But we can sit here and talk kids all day, man. But let's get right into it, man. My favorite segment. Well, I ain't speak to Keith in a while. We like to come in and do a little bit of catching up with Keith.
Sing it! Been so long.
Catching up with Keith.
Man, Keith, like and something that's scary right now that we've been through is that we have kids, and I don't know if your kids are in daycares or yet. My kid goes to school, but you see something like a school shooting, it puts things in a different perspective because now we look at it differently. You know what I mean? It hits us differently. I don't even know, like there was a Nashville school shooting this week, and my child had went on a school trip the week before, and I remember thinking in my head, like, not that it's her first time leaving the school, like a school trip, but it's just as like, I think they were going to like a bowling alley or something like that, and it's just in my mind, it's like, all you need is a psycho to go to the bowling alley, or someone to have a bad day, a disgruntled employee, and it's like, you got this culture now where people just are like, we're just going to take out our frustrations on innocent victims.
Yeah.
You got this trend now where people do the school shootings because from what I read an article, it just tends to get the most attention. You know what I mean? And that's what a lot of them go for. Like they want their story to be heard or whatever, you know, their manifesto is. And so with this one, it was unique because we had like a lot of different facts come out. First headline I read said it was a teenage girl. I thought that was weird. Then the other one said it was like a 28-year-old woman. And then I think the facts came out later that it was a transgender individual that was assigned female at birth, if I understand it, and transitioning to male. But it just goes to show you because that's itself is an anomaly. Like people born women at birth don't typically shoot up, you know, large mass shootings. That's something not common. I believe that over the past 57 years, 158 mass shootings were carried out by males who were assigned at birth. There was only 5 since in the past 57 years that were done by females, and 2 of those even they was with the dude that was doing it. So it's that rare, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, so no one knows. And then the person chose a Christian academy that would seem like it was an elementary school. And then, you know, murdered 6 individuals, 3 children, 3 adults. And you're desensitized to it now to the point that it has to be a school shooting, right, to even get this attention. Like there's been tons of mass shootings this year. They don't even get that much attention. And it's like, even this is a little bit desensitized because I don't know how to explain it. You just hear it so much. Like it sucks and it's sad. And you kiss your kids when they come home. You hug them. You're grateful, but it's just like it's easy to get like just another one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Audrey Hale, I believe, was the name of the shooter. In this particular incident, it seems like Audrey was suffering from some type of mental distress. Had a manifesto written out and just was dealing with issues. Even on the morning of the shooting, they said when leaving with the bag, the parents asked, you know, what's in the bag, and it was kind of dismissed. You know what I mean? So I can't imagine to go from that to hearing it was your child on the news later. You know what I mean? Even from that perspective, it's such a tragic thing because you always feel like, what could you have done? What could have happened? But I guess how do you feel when you heard the news?
Yeah, I mean, to that point of being a parent, because school is just like that is supposed to be the safe place, right? Like I'm gonna go work, make some money for my family, make sure they're good, and part of them being good, and be like, all right, I'm gonna send my kid to school because there's no other. You probably for some people you probably trust the school more than you do with like putting them with their grandparents or something like that. For some people, so then for that to happen, it's just crazy. And then the cops responded. So from, you know, I'm not no cop, so I don't know like what's good or bad, but like from like the news and stuff, cops said, yeah, they responded pretty well. They did a good job, and still 6 people were killed. And that's the, you know, just thinking about that is crazy, right? Like, I mean, if they did the perfect job, it would have been 0, but it's like they did it. The cops did a really good job responding, neutralizing the threat and all that type of stuff, and still 6 people died. So it's just a scary thing. And the thought of like, there's multiple people out there who are in like a position and have the means and the motive to say, you know what, I'm gonna do it at a school. All right, like this is probably not the last one. That's just a frightening thought. And the, you know, cops and all of these people know that it's not the last one. And for me, being a millennial, for the past since 2000, so for the past like 23 years, we've been dealing with terrorism. Let's say 2001, for the past 22 years, we've been dealing with terrorism in one way or the other. Like whether it's a terrorist taking a vehicle and running through a crowd, or explosions, or whatever it is. Like, so like this being the new wave of
Domestic terrorism,
or terrorism of any form, like it's crazy. And then all the white supremacy stuff is not done either. So they're also dealing with that. So it's just a insane time.
No, you're 100% right about that, and it's scary because they said that between October 20th of 2020 and June 6th of last year, 2022, Orgy purchased 7 weapons. Wow. And you think about the mental health issues that we have in this country mixed with the accessibility to weapons, and it's like I'm starting to think there might be a third factor too, right? Because like I said, it's typically males. There's a lot of white males doing this. Not always, you know what I mean? We had the shootings in California that was actually back-to-back Asian individuals that had did something. So it's not, I'm not gonna say it's only white males that do this, but it's like it makes me think, like, what is this culture that is it the violence on television? Is it the video games? Like, what is it that just makes people think like that's the move to go shoot up a group of people? And I guess we really won't know until a bigger study is done. But it's I don't know, like just the being desensitized to human life, right? And then wanting to take out people who have nothing to do with whatever it is you're suffering from, whatever pain and trauma you feel is, and that's not new, you know. So a lot of serial killers took out their anger on victims who had nothing to do with their trauma. But it's just different now because it's like it's the places we think we could go, we could trust. You know what I'm saying? I send my kid on the bus every day. I pick my kid up every day, knowing that she was taken care of. It's almost like you kind of just know it in your heart, and you things like this come to show you that there's no security, there's no knowing, there's no taking it for granted. Like it's a blessing every single day.
Yeah, it's yeah, the joint like this, like it happens. It has happened so much, but each time I feel like the impact is just as strong as at least for me and the people I know. Like the impact is just as much as like the shooting before, in the sense that you start appreciating more like your loved ones and stuff like that. Not to mention like also the shooting with that little kid that shot the teacher. Like you think about stuff like that, like just it's a school. When we went to school, like our parents are worried, but it was like fights. Like I hope my kid doesn't come home with a black eye. You know, I would be, you know, your parents be like, I mean, I'd be terrified if my kid got robbed and all this type of stuff.
Jumped or something,
jumped and all this stuff happened to us more or less, and like you survive. But now, like this is even more like it's the ultimate threat. In your life. So,
and it's like they at least our parents had the they knew that they could give us advice on how to try to avoid those situations. What do you tell your kid to avoid this? Psycho coming into your school and just shooting things up, man. So thoughts and prayers definitely with the 6 victims: Evelyn Deckhouse, William Kenny, Haley Scruggs, Cynthia Peak, 61-year-old, Catherine Kuhn, 60-year-old, and Mike Hill, 61-year-old custodian. Definitely thoughts and prayers with their families of the victims. And you don't even know what to say at times like this because it hurts everybody. You know what I'm saying? It hits everybody, and it goes to show you. Hug your kids, man. Hug your loved ones. Don't take it for granted. All those little stupid arguments and fights that we have, it comes to show you that it's not that serious, man. Like there's much more serious issues in life. And let's start to focus on mental health. Let's really start to take it there. Because if you see something that you know what I mean, reach out to your friends, talk to them. Don't be afraid to tell somebody. If it's a false alarm, then take that risk. You know what I mean? But at least you know that you spoke up and you ain't gotta sit with regret in your heart after something like this happens. Catching up with Keith. Donald Trump was indicted in Manhattan grand jury on more than 30 counts related to business fraud. First time in American history that a current or former president has faced criminal charges. Keith, what is going on? Now this is in relation to the Stormy Daniels stuff, right? If I'm not mistaken, Alvin Bragg was the district attorney in Manhattan who decided that he was gonna move forward with indicting Donald Trump. It looks like it was a payment scheme and a cover-up for Stormy Daniels. So I mean, when we first heard about this, Trump brought it to our attention, and we kind of was like, oh man, maybe nothing's gonna happen. Maybe he was just doing it to get some support and get some hype behind himself. But it looks like, and I actually, when it did come out, I didn't understand it too much. Like I'm looking at spec, like you ain't allowed to get somebody hush money.
You can't do that. Oh shit! Yeah. I got some odd messages to delete.
But no, I think it also involves because campaign funds where it looks like it might have been used to pay for it and then try to cover it up as legal fees. So yeah, that's looking a little. I don't know. What do you think? I mean, I guess a week ago if you would ask me, I'd have been like, I knew they wasn't gonna arrest him. It's silly. Everybody's saying it's the weakest case, but I mean, it was just political theater right now. What's happening?
It might be, but it's still a district attorney prosecuting a person. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like people all over the news is like, well, Alvin Bragg is this progressive district attorney. And, you know, Trump is Trump. He's a Republican, the Republican icon at this point. So one could say, oh, well, this is a political hit job, but the DA still has to operate within the law. Like he can't make stuff up. Oh, he could, but I mean, there's a heavy penalty for something like that. So there's actual stuff that I'm assuming that the DA, the prosecutor saw that the dude violated some laws. Listen, I mean, I ain't no lawyer, but dudes like me and you could look at a dude like, man, he ain't right, man. I just don't fuck with that dude.
Yeah.
This is not even politically. Like, it's like, yo, if Donald Trump was just, there's a dude in your circle who's just like Trump, and he was like, "Yo, man, let me borrow 500 again." Nah, I ain't got it, brother. You know what I'm saying? Like he just ain't right. That's just how I feel about him. Some people agree with that, but nah, but he's gonna put the policies in that I like or whatever, and that's fine. But man, you can't. Ultimately, you have to pay for one of these joints, whether it's through karma or facing the judge.
Yeah, Don, you're right. Everything that always comes to light. They said Trump is expected to appear in court this Tuesday, so of next week. So we're gonna see what happens from there. But it's funny too, because he calls her horse face. Stormy Daniels. I mean, it's not a surprise because it comes from Trump, but it's also like, I mean, didn't he admit to paying her for sex? So
yeah.
It's like, how you insulting a person?
He paid her for sex?
I thought that was the part. That's what he was trying to keep on the wraps, that she was paying sex with him. But I could be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe that's part of the charges. Like maybe.
But either way, I mean, you still slept with her. It's like me. It's like when the dude tries to holler at a girl and then be like, "You ugly anyway." Fuck you anyway.
You know what the problem is that Trump tried to do regular dude shit, but he's way too big for it. Like even before he was president, he was too big. Well, before he was president, he was a bit too big for it, but he became president and he's out of office. He's way too big to do normal dude stuff. Like you could imagine one of your friends or one of my friends saying, "Yo, man, I cheated on my lady. I got to figure out a way to keep this lady, the side piece quiet." Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or, oh, well, I got this contract. I mean, he ain't hunting me down for the money, so I'm gonna just wait like another 6 months before I pay him back, or just not pay him back at all, or shit like that.
I heard that's how Trump roll.
He just roll like that. Yeah, he rolled too much like a regular dude. Yeah. And he be hiring regular dude lawyers and shit like that. Michael Cohen got his like law degree in the Caribbean or some shit like that. He was some crazy, like it's insane. Like when you that big, matter of fact, if you half as big as Trump, you gotta go for some wild Harvard, Stanford type dude that got the wild Park Avenue, Ocean Avenue, and whatever the biggest lawyer is in that jurisdiction. Like that's who you gotta go at least top 5. He's going like normal ass dudes talking normally on TV and shit like that. And I guess that's been working for him. But
I heard he's cheap. I heard like he likes cheap labor, so he tries to go for, what I mean, just not quality, but whatever the most he could get out of you, and then typically fire you before he has to pay you sometimes.
That's crazy. Had a weird ass doctor. Yo, this is the most healthiest president in history. What? Said that shit in a letter or written lines. Come on, bro. Like you gotta hire some smooth, slick back type dude, like cool. You know what I'm saying?
But look how he rolls,
mad pinstripes on their shit.
Yeah, it's like in the middle of he's trying to make an official like statement about an indictment. He's just like Stormy Horseface Daniels. Wow. Like, just like it's like we just supposed to like roll over that. I'm like, yo, my man's crazy, man. But yeah, we're gonna see what happens with that. As political theater still playing out, and I guess as we get close to this election, it's just gonna get crazier and crazier. But we see what's happening with that, man. Catching up with Keith. A white Mississippi TV anchor was terminated for using Snoop Dogg's "for shizzle my nizzle" phrase on air. Yeah, it was. I don't know if you've seen the clip, but it was just a lady talking on the news, white lady. And as they were about to flip it back to another anchor, she hit him with the "for shizzle my nizzle." Hold on, let me see if you can hear it.
Wait, they were interviewing Snoop Dogg?
Nah. Oh. They were talking about. Hold on.
Before we know it, she'd have a Snoop Dogg tattoo on her shoulder.
For shizzle, my nizzle.
I'm telling you. Julie, what do you think about that? Huh, she says.
Well, get this.
So she just threw it in because he said you have a Snoop Dogg tattoo. And she just said, "for shizzle, my nizzle."
She got fired? Well, what are the grounds? I'm kidding.
After 20 years, racism, I guess, because they said that the term means "for sure, my nigga." Like how they defined it, "for sure, my nigga."
I it's like I know that the shizzle means sure, but it's like it's weird because we did like when you say it at the time when we was actually saying it, like you didn't mean for sure. Like you just sound like it sounded good because it would be like no dizzle. Well, we actually did say no dizzle, but I never said for sure. Like for sure, my guy, for sure, my nigga. I never said that. But anyway, that's fucked up, honestly, man. I think that I mean, if anything, she should have been like suspended or something just for being unprofessional. But I feel
Yeah.
as if like that term, like I don't know.
Oh, I know what's funny is my girlfriend's much younger than this woman, and she didn't know what that phrase meant, and I was like, but I did tell her, I was like, you can get called out for that
Well,
one, you know what I
right,
mean?
you're
Yeah.
eligible. You're eligible to get like, but it's like you're not at the top of the. You shouldn't be at like the top of the cancel list. Like, there's a few other people you should go through first before you cancel that person.
Well, I guess in this particular situation, she had previous stuff. Like, looks like she was talking to
Yeah.
a black reporter before referred to her grandmother as a grandmammy, and somebody took offense to that. So maybe
Yeah,
they just
nigga, you
don't.
burying the lead, man. You put the other shit up first and have me defending this lady. I didn't know I didn't know all of that. Yeah, and apparently a year ago she wore a do-rag to work and just swinging chickens at people.
No, but Whoopi Goldberg and Charlamagne the God, among others, have come to her defense. DJ Envy said something like, "I don't think she should have been fired. That might not even mean what Nizzle. She might not even know what Nizzle means. Yo, come on. We gotta like stop it, man. That's not a reason to fire that woman."
Yeah,
I agree, but also I mean it could have also be behind the scenes shit that they were looking for an excuse to get rid of her. You know what I mean? And she just gave it to him. I think though that one is a stretch because Snoop Dogg is one of those people that transcends culture.
you're right.
That you might repeat a Snoop Dogg phrase, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to think what was popular when he first came out, like, ain't no fun.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Someone be like, oh, whoa, you know what I mean? That's enough. What are you trying to say there? You know what I'm saying? Or bitches ain't nothing but hoes and tricks. You know what I mean? Was one that, you know what I mean?
That one is not ambiguous. that definitely is no shizzle. That's not no for shizzle my nizzle. That's a bit more like just, hey, this is what it means.
But yeah, like I said, Barbie Bassett did have to apologize in the past after referencing a co-worker's grandmother as her grandmammy. I'm reading here. They said because mammy carries a racist connotation.
Well, yeah,
historically used to refer to a
well,
black woman.
What it's a local news, right? Do you happen to know
what state? Let me double check. I know it's down south because she has a bit of an accent. So I mean, but then again, that could be anything. Mississippi news anchor. So
yeah, now
she had the ground zero of Mississippi burning.
Yeah. Now I got to analyze this. It's a good thing this is the people get to watch me spontaneously think about this shit in real time because now this evidence being laid out just make me feel different. Now it's like she most likely is racist. I mean, but it's like, is it like fireable or like is it demonstrably racist?
I don't think she was trying to slip her. And I'll play the clip on here, but I don't think she was trying to be racist. Now, sometimes some people try to slip racism in.
Yeah,
like this one's gonna get through the. I don't think that was it, but I like how you said you had to back up off a bit and sit your cup down. You know, what I mean? I had to think about this one.
Yo, I had to think about it, man. But you know, the interesting thing about people, particularly white people from like Confederate areas or areas that have like a legacy of like heavy racism. Like sometimes you'll meet a person and you could tell they really like black persons or persons of color, but there's the systemic joint, like the joint that you can't remove from like culture, like just how you live in a certain area. So there's probably even black people who's like, yeah, that is my grandmammy. Like, you know, I don't know how they talk down there, but if that's how they talk, like
where
crazy exactly. On TV, but it's like if that's how you talk around like in that area, because people actually do call their parents like their mother mammy or their grandma mammy.
I guess you gotta the same way. I guess if we walk into a job, we gotta take whatever phrases we feel comfortable around our friends, maybe leave that outside. She gonna have to do the same. And what I would say is, if I did go start a new job somewhere and someone said for shizzle my nizzle, I'm gonna be offended, like not even just racism, like what the fuck you talking to me like that for, bro? Like I got a sociology degree. What's going on here?
That's you know, there's two sides to it. You are right, man. It is offensive. But the fire, I feel as if, but she has priors though. I don't know, man. That's a dope story.
Yeah, man. Boy, we're gonna move on, man, to my other favorite segment that we like to do. It's called Have You Heard? Well, I see headlines in the news, and I talked to my guy Keith. I guess this last one could have been in catching up with Keith because it initially started last week. But Jonathan Majors, have you heard? He got caught up in a bit of an assault charge. Police were called to an apartment, I believe in Manhattan. And Jonathan Majors was arrested. But he did proclaim his innocence. His lawyers came out and said, he will be proven innocent. And this week, it looks like Jonathan Majors' attorney provides purported texts from women. So it's like from women in alleged assault. It came out that the woman that made the complaint was his girlfriend at the time. And there were some text messages that were brought out. I mean, we allegedly are from the same lady. Text that said things like, they assured me that you won't get charged. They said they had to arrest you as protocol when they saw the injuries on me and they knew we had a fight. Also said the text, I'm so sorry you're in this position. We will make sure nothing happens about this. I told them it was my fault for trying to grab your phone. And another message sent hours later, I reiterated how this was not an attack and they do not have my blessing on any of the charges being placed. I read the paper they gave me about strangulation and I said point blank, this did not occur. It should be removed immediately. But it looks like CNN wasn't able to verify whether the text messages came from the accuser or not. Case is still ongoing. But even so, I was told that Jonathan Majors' lawyer released this. I'm like, oh, that seems kind of TMZ for a lawyer to kind of put that. Seems like more like a publicist would leak that. To like, all right, let's get kind of this negative backlash against him away. I don't see why. I don't know. That's weird. But I said I'm gonna wait till the facts come out. But I'm gonna let you speak on this situation.
Me too, but also from what we do know, I know one thing. Man, Trump changed the practice of law, man. Lawyers
And politics,
yeah, man. Like he just changed the game because I would like to imagine that Jonathan Majors got him a pretty good lawyer. The lawyer said, I'm gonna do press release,
leak text,
leaking text and stuff like that. I don't know enough to know if that's a bad strategy or not. I know it's unusual from what I'm accustomed to for sure.
Well, to your point though, lawyers are moving different because the Michael Irvin sexual harassment, his lawyer had a whole press conference doing a play-by-play on the replay. I'm like, don't y'all wait till court start, bro? He's like, if you look right here, this gentleman comes in from the outside. I'm like, this is a press conference? Like, he going hard in the paint, but like, yeah, they went in the court of public opinion, I guess, because I guess they know how information goes out. You contain a jury real quick.
Look at Benjamin Crump. Look at Gloria Allred. Like they known for press con. Like if something's happening and they involved, for a fact there's a press conference happening somewhere. The cameras and the news microphones all set up and everything like that. So it's just a different time. But man, that's a tough one, man. Because right now Jonathan Majors is having a beast of a moment. Exactly. This dude's moment, like he is. Well, before this it's at his peak and potentially still rising. Marvel, Creed, that's it. Need to say no. He has a old Negro pilot movie, like hitting all the syllabus. Like he's hitting all them shits, all in the span of like a year or two. This is like Chadwick Boseman numbers, like you know what I'm saying. So hope it ain't true. As usual with any of these things that ever come out, I always hope that it's not true. But if it is, man, fuck.
That would hurt me though so much. Like you wait till the height of someone's career, you know what I'm saying, and then it's always like somebody comes out the woodworks or somebody just decides they're gonna move. Like, you know what I mean? Just when they see somebody blowing up, sometimes success is so hard to see people. But on the flip side of it, we've seen people fucking up themselves. Right, like we've seen the Kanye's fumble the bag and just done dumb stuff at the height of their career. So it could go both ways, and we rooted for Jonathan Majors in terms of innocent till proven guilty. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna let the facts come out on this one and hope that, you know what I mean, it works out for everybody involved.
And the truth is, he's mad likable because if you notice, like I have not heard of a cancel mob yet come after him, whereas some other people they're like, nah, this dude's an animal. For him, it's everyone's is hitting you with that caveat of if when the evidence comes out, and we rarely hear that nowadays, and that's to show how his moment and his star is extremely bright to afford him that type of grace from even the Twitter heads out there who like to attack people like that.
Yeah, you're right, because Tory Lanez didn't get all that. Like as soon as it came out, motherfuckers was canceling.
he shot her foot off, man.
He made music, so
yeah.
Nah, but who did come after Jonathan Majors? Everybody like the sensitivity police. People who felt like, oh, you wearing pink or you hugging Michael B. Jordan. Like, come on, like that was. I thought that was the corniest move of all time. Like that pisses me off because I hate anything that puts black men in a box. I hate when you gotta fit a status quo. You gotta fit what people's expectation of you like. And I like that he was speaking out against that and defending himself, but in not an ignorant way. Like fuck all. He ain't go Soldier Boy on y'all. He said his thoughts real intelligent of why that is such a stupid outlook to have. And stop trying to like put black people in these boxes, especially black men. That hurt, man. But we're gonna move on. Keith, have you heard about Florida's Stop Woke law in terms of how it applies to like schools? How they try to stop the mention of race in like a lot of these books, or blaming a race, you know what I mean, for a particular thing. Well, now it looks like a publisher on their own, because I don't believe that this law has been put into action, but a publisher in Florida on their own decided they were going to remix their stuff in their social studies books, and in particular the lesson taught on Rosa Parks initially said that the law said that African Americans had to give up their seats on a bus if a white person wanted to sit down, but they remixed it and said that she was told to move to a different seat because of because of the color of her skin, right? Without mentioning the actual color of her skin. So without mentioning that, you know, like black people suffer from this or that this was the law, they kind of like leave it ambiguous. And it's like, how are you teaching civil rights without mentioning the law? I want to read the exact Rosa Parks one. It said, Rosa Parks showed courage. One day she rode the bus. She was told to move to a different seat. She did not. She did what she believed was right.
That's crazy. This is like a high school book or something.
It looks like K-6. So
okay, cause I'm about to say it sounds like my son wrote it. She went on bus. Bus driver said move back. She said no. because her skin. And then kids be like, she has skin conditioning, like eczema like me.
Nah,
psoriasis.
This is just stupid, bro. It's this whole Stop Woke campaign, which the term woke I didn't even like to begin with. So I don't even want to like go on like I am woke because I didn't like the term to begin with.
You know what sucks about the term woke is that it's been completely gentrified. Like it was first gentrified and it remained like a good thing, but then it was even further gentrified
and vilified
and became vilified. Imagine if Harlem, right? You know, what happened in Harlem is that a bunch of young white people started moving in from out of town or whatever, and gentrified in that way, drove up the rent. But then imagine if Congress people said, you know what, we're actually going to live in those apartments too, and then drive up rent to like $5,000 a month and shit like that for a 1-bedroom. That's what happened to the word woke. Like Congress people, politicians, like, oh, this word woke, and use it as this vilified thing. Remember, it was just used for hotep dudes, man. Like dudes were like, man, you better say woke, man. They putting that shit in your water and all this type of stuff, which actually turned out to be true. But it was like that. Woke meaning that you have a certain level of awareness to.
You're not just letting the bullshit just fly by you. Yeah,
they can't pull one over on you. But I have heard about that shit. I don't know about it on like a legislative, like what's like rule books level, but I've heard the shit like, for instance, AP African American history, the public schools in Florida or some district won't allow it or something in their schools. Something with DeSantis, like he's doing this whole Florida is where woke goes to die.
That's what they're running with. Yep, you're right about that. Studies Weekly was the publisher that did this particular one. And they said that they did this, basically individuals in our curriculum team severely overreacted to the interpretation of the HB7 and made unapproved revisions. So basically they heard DeSantis talking about it, was like, let's get it out. Let's get it out. Another one they had was Roberto Clemente. Roberto Clemente was a famous baseball player. He was a responsible citizen. He helped people in need. He gave people money and food. He taught children how to play baseball. No mention of his race or background or anything like that. Fred Korematsu, who's an Asian individual. He grew up in California. He wanted to be treated with respect. Some people treated him differently. He worked hard for everyone to be treated with respect. Like what are, like, come on, bro. Like, this is getting silly now. And my thing is, like, why would you want kids not to know the history? That's the part I don't get. Like, we talking about, oh, it might make a kid feel bad. It might make some little Johnny go home upset. So, like, would you rather him be ignorant, be spewing out crazy facts? Because now it's just silliness.
Yeah. Well, it makes the parents feel more upset than the kids themselves in general.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, well, what I don't like is, if you alienate somebody on purpose, aside from the content. So if y'all studying the content and you see a white kid over there, be like, yeah, your people owned mine. Like, I don't like that shit there. And I think it does happen, but I think that when you have policies like that, that they are making these policies and having people believe that this type of thing is more rampant than it really is. Like this is like, it will be like a one-off, but most people, they hear about, oh, word, color of his skin, he was black, you got to treat him badly, and there's racism. Okay, that's crazy, right? And you internalize it in whatever different way you internalize it. But I don't think, by and large, that people are just feeling terrible about the color of their own skin, and that's the narrative that's being put out there. Like, oh well, kids are coming home saying, oh, is it evil to be white? And I doubt that's happening like on a wide like a wide basis.
Yeah, just loud voices, pretty much.
Yeah,
I heard
exactly. The Twitter shit.
Yeah, I heard two white women talking in the supermarket yesterday about curriculum, and I
Yeah.
damn sure was lingering trying to figure out what they had a problem with. I couldn't figure
Checking
out.
these melons extra long, like, yeah, we'll see what the fuck this pumpkin's about. What y'all talking about?
I was like, say critical race.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure it out though. But yeah, man, moving on, man. It's a sad story, something that as parents I think it is important to know. I didn't even know this type of stuff still even happened, but thoughts and prayers with Flo Rida, his 6-year-old son seriously injured after falling from an apartment window. And I feel like that was something we used to hear about a lot back in the day, right? Like, especially when we were growing up, about how kids would fall out because they didn't have the bars on their window. And this happened in New Jersey. And I know this law in New York where they have to have the bars. I don't know if New Jersey works the same, but it looks like the boy's mother filed a lawsuit against the landlord on Monday, alleging that her son fell out the window after she filed several complaints, claiming that the window had faulty guards. Also, yeah, I guess even the guards were in place and they just didn't protect the kid in the situation. But like, that's scary because Flo Rida is rich, you know what I mean, before, and he just won a big lawsuit, but even more rich. So when you hear about rich and powerful people still being victims of something like this, it's crazy. 6-year-old Zahar Dillard sustained serious injuries after he fell out in a window onto hard concrete. Heard he had a collapsed lung, broke his pelvis, ton of injuries, you know what I mean? But by the grace of God, survived. 5-story drop. So, you know what I mean? Definitely thoughts of prayers or him there. But like, yeah, I just felt like we had to mention that because that's something I feel like I haven't heard of in years, bro. About, you know what I mean, kids having these tragic falls due to the stuff like that. And that's like the same way they got to check on all these bridges and the infrastructure. Yep. You got to go in these buildings and check on like the guards that are supposed to keep these kids from dropping, because it still happens, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Apparently. So
that's a lot of, I'll probably be on the local news, and local news is kind of, you know, we don't get in touch with it as much, but this type of shit
100%. No, you're right, because the only reason I knew about it was the Shade Room talked about it, and then DJ Envy was talking about it on the Breakfast Club. He said something like he heard about it from his lawyer friend. He didn't even hear about it through the news. You know what I'm saying? So I guess it was really like, yo, once people found out Flo Rida was related to it, it became news. But it's really just something that is just important to know, whether you're a celebrity or a normal individual. Like, this is a day-to-day shit. Like, you know what I mean? That's a real concern. You can't keep your eyes on your kids at all times, and you should at least be able to trust that the place where you live is going to prevent something like this from happening. Yeah.
I mean, it's hard out there, man. Just protecting the kids. There's that balance of, all right, well, you know, letting them experience life, but also trying to manage the risk around them. And well, this is different. Like, the crib was inadequately, you know, whatever, like the window guards are messed up. But like, when you think about like Usher's son or stepson, I think passed away in that
he had a head
accident, the jet ski or whatever. Like, how many people go jet skiing and this never happens? And then you know, that's crazy.
No, it's yeah. And then, but now when a celebrity goes through it, it brings it to the limelight, makes you to the forefront, it makes you think about it. Yeah. Keith, have you heard Mr. Beast? I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he's with the top YouTuber, makes a ton of money just off of making videos, and now he's actually has products and merchandise that are could be found in Walmart. One of them being his Feastables line. I think he makes cookies. He also has like a ghost kitchen that's nationwide that, you know, they serve burgers. So he was at a restaurant and he had a waitress, and instead of giving her just a regular tip, he asked her the biggest tip she ever gotten and gifted her with car keys. $21,500 Toyota Corolla. Dope car, you know what I mean? I think nice looking. The only problem, I guess, with some people had, I didn't think it was a problem.
She owned a Range Rover.
No, she actually says in the video she was late to work because she couldn't get a ride that day. So she was in need of a car, and I don't know how he knew what, you know what I mean? Mr. Beast be helping out a lot of people, but we're gonna get to that in a second. But basically, he caught flack for this because his logo was on the side of the car. And it's like, I don't know. It just, I had to speak about this because it was actually the second time in recent months that something happened like this. Mr. Beast made a video where he gave 100 people sight. You ever seen those videos where those guys are given sight? They do the procedure on them.
I haven't seen. I think I might have seen one. Actually, no. I saw one when like a little kid might have been colorblind and he was able to see
for the first time.
Yeah. Like
so Mr. Beast was doing like basically like procedures, paying for procedures to be done to help people get their sight back, and he was still getting hate for that. And it was like, I'm just confused now. Like with this particular thing, they're trying to say, yo, you gave her a logo to drive around in. She can do whatever she wants with the car. Like, if she don't got to drive around with it, she can wrap it, she can do something, whatever she want. I'm sure she's just happy because of the car. But it's like, how you hate on my man giving people sight? Giving people gifts? Like he make a ton of money on YouTube and then he takes it back and gives it back to the people. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's just one of those things where Twitter, it's just easy to hate on people. And I hate that about the internet, bro. Like my man is actually out here doing good deeds, you know what I mean? Charitable deeds, taking his money and putting it back to the people, and you still find hate because of it. Oh no, you're making content out of that. You're doing this. It's like, come on, man. You can't help nobody nowadays.
Is he flashy? I don't know. I know his name because he's the biggest, but like, is he a flashy dude? Or
nah, wouldn't wear jewelry. You would think he was broke if you sat right next to him in a restaurant. You know what I mean? He's super humble. You know what I mean? He's just, and I guess maybe, you know what I mean, I know more about him. So I think when you know a little bit about somebody, it makes it easier to understand what their motivation is, as opposed to you just read a headline and you're thinking that people do this for attention, because there is a population of people on the internet that do, right? They give people gifts, money in the street, do things like that just to get likes and plays and stuff like that. So Mr. Beast really isn't on that. He just made a ton of money on YouTube and was like, yo, give it back. Like, what else am I gonna do with it? Like, and he makes dope videos with him. You know what I mean? But like, I don't know. You give a 24-year-old waitress a car, like how does that turn into hate? I think now he's just immune to it, though. I think after he's seen, you know, I gave people sight. I'm out here doing miracles and people still hating on me.
I literally did miracles. That's crazy. Well, and the reason I asked you, is he flashy? I never seen a dude before, but the other day, I was thinking about J. Cole, right? Like J. Cole looked broke as fuck, but like he's more loaded than he's ever been. And he went to the P's to listen to an up and coming dude rap. Like, he just standing in the project lobby, just listening to the little homie rap, and people like act like this shit was like, you know, like some real charitable shit, which it is, right? Because he let some of his cred rub off on homie. I'm sure homie could potentially has a bigger platform than he had before. But it was like, that's good old J. Cole. But this dude literally, you want to see? Bang. Go ahead and see. You're late to work because you ain't got no wheels? Bang. Here goes some wheels. And that shit, just the thought of that shit is crazy. Standing in a line. Not to say, and J. Cole does real shit, but I'm just saying that one example of like, he was just standing in the lobby. He's like, man, that dude J. Cole, man, he got a heart of gold. But Mr. Beast, multiple people see now, somebody could get to work on time and feed their, you know, family or whoever, and they hating on him. So that, yeah, it's just crazy.
No, he's done more than that. Like they say he's known for his acts of generosity. He's raised $20 million to plant 20 million trees. He adopted every dog in one animal shelter. He bought a private island and gave it away. I remember back in the day how I heard about him. He would just hop on people's Twitch streams that weren't as popular as him and just tip them like $500, and then motherfuckers will see us from him and be, oh shit, Mr. Beast, you know what I mean? So he always been doing this, you know what I mean? Homeless shelters, helping everybody out. Like, and I think to your J. Cole point, I think what allows the Mr. Beast and the J. Coles to still move and that hate not really hit them is because they're not flashy, right? They're so accessible. It's like that's what I would want if I'm worth millions of dollars, to still be dressing like I'm not like that. I don't need to outshine you with tons of jewelry. I don't need to outshine you with a big ass car, you know what I mean, fancy car. Like I want to be able to go everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
still have that accessibility that I have. And I think that's what a lot of people when they hit that celebrity that they if you just make someone feel lesser than you by your appearance, I think it kind of stops your accessibility. Now you got to worry about your security.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And you also got to think of it like the videos and social media is like Mr. Beast's lifestyle. So if he donates, it may just end up reflecting his like that's it's kind of what he does. I'm sure he has to put in many hours a day. You know what I'm saying? It's like a dude showing up to happy hour in the scrubs. He's like, oh, what do you do? A surgeon. I just came off a 14-hour shift.
Mhm.
You would be like, oh, you bitch ass man, you gotta come here and scrubs and show niggas that you're a surgeon. Mr. Beast is an influence, and it's like, well, he's gonna be doing influential type shit, even in him doing charitable shit.
Exactly. And he makes making content is his thing. But like any correction, he gave 1,000 people sight. Excuse me. And turned it.
How
He's
you
out here doing
mad at
biblical stuff, bro.
Yo, that's biblical shit. When people write that, look, when they're gonna write about this shit today in about 200 years, when they look back at just the archives, but yo, you heard about this nigga, Mr. Beast? Thousands of people could see.
All right, Keith, before we get up out of here, too, have you heard Magic Johnson was part of the group looking to buy the NFL's Washington Commanders for $6 billion? That'll add on to his ownership in the Dodgers, the Sparks, and the Los Angeles Football Club. Magic Johnson trying to buy it all up, bro. $6 billion for the Washington Commanders is what Adam Schefter's reporting that Daniel Schneider would like to get it. I would like to see Magic Johnson get in the football game. No, that'd be pretty dope. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's just such an influential guy, man. Such a great business person, and to see it from a former athlete, that would be litty. And I'm looking at it like
I wonder because as I understand, at least in basketball, he's a pretty good recruiter. So I'm wondering like how that would translate to other sports. I wonder how he's done in baseball and what he could potentially do in football.
I'm looking at his teams right now. I'm not 100% sure about the Los Angeles Football Club. I know they're pretty good, but I'm not sure about the championship record. But I know the Dodgers and Sparks championship teams since he's been involved. So you know what I mean? It's a winning team to be a part of, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Magic Johnson, just a super like a hero in this game, and that's gonna bring us on to, you know what I mean, our next segment. Stay tuned before when Keith gets out of here. We're gonna move on to Perfect Talk, product talk with my man AmBro. He's gonna be talking about his new single, his new video it drops. And if you know about any small business owners looking to showcase what they're trying to do, tell them holla at, you know what I mean, Perfect Talk Podcast. And we're gonna showcase them on Perfect Talk, product talk. But Keith, man, that's a segment in the books, man. Tell my people where they can find you at, brother.
Instagram, _35.
Definitely, man. Go check your boy Keith out. I'm gonna hit y'all with all mine later in the show. But Keith, before you get up out of here, bro, what you watching nowadays? I've been trying new shit. I've been like on Hulu. There's a lot of shows on there, and I tried like 2 new ones. This Fool is like a Mexican kind of show.
Yo, man, I don't know if you like it, man. That's my shit.
I only watched 1 episode, but I'm like, I'm in.
Yo, man, I love it, man. You know me, man. I love shows that go full ridiculous. Like, I love fart sounds and shit like that. So all my Instagram videos, whatever the algorithm just keeps feeding me shit that somebody get like punched in their stomach and a fart sound effect just come out of shit like that. It's crazy. Or the pig, the pig screaming and shit. So this Fool, man, that shit is fire, man. That show is dope.
I like it, man.
Weebay's in that bitch. The young dude from Sopranos. Oh, he ain't young no more, but
oh yeah. I'm about to call him. I almost said Anthony Soprano, but no, you're talking about the nephew.
Yeah,
man.
That show was fire. But I'm watching Snowfall final season.
Okay,
then it's cool. It's a cool last season. Like it's hit a peak. It's hard to keep a show fresh for 6 seasons.
I noticed that too. I think 3 is a lifespan. Like 3 is a nice little mid range, and then like. So a lot what I would say is in the past couple of years, a lot of people be like by the last season it falls off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's hard to keep a show stretch, you know what I'm saying, for that amount of time. But good to see them get 6 seasons out of there because that was huge, man.
Yeah, and then John Singleton, I think he was one of the creators. He passed away during the show's tenure. And then of course Damson Idris, he also has a little feature role in that show Swarm on Prime Video, the joint where
Donald Glover.
Well, yeah, Donald Glover created it, and everybody circulated that video of him clapping cheeks with Chloe Bailey.
Chloe Bailey. Is she part of? Is she a main character on the show, or she's just
She
got a
is.
feature? Oh, okay.
She's the main character. But that show sucks, man. I ain't gonna lie. I got through 5-6 episodes. It's one of them joints where it's like, all right, black cast. Okay, Donald Glover did it. Okay, all right. I'm gonna tune in. First episode sucked. I'm like, all right, it's gonna pick up. Second episode, all right. Third episode sucked. Fourth episode sucked. And I'm just, you know what it made me think of? It made me think of when you heard about Get Out. Or you just heard about it, you didn't see no previews or nothing like that. And you heard, yo, the nigga from Key and Peele is directing a scary movie. Oh, but he's a smart dude, but it's a nigga from Key and Peele directing a scary movie.
Yeah.
That shit's gonna suck. But it was really good. But the thing is, like, what I expected from Get Out, that's what Swarm is. It was like, oh, the dude from Atlanta is making like a thriller. Oh, I tune into that. That shit, it'd be good, but it might suck though, because I saw the third and fourth season in Atlanta. And then I watch it, man. I don't like it, man. It's one of them joints where I'm watching, I'm like, man, maybe I'm not sophisticated enough. Eventually I said, man, I'm about to be 40, man. I'm sophisticated enough. This shit sucks, bro.
You was waiting for something to happen that basically wasn't happening, right?
Yeah, I was waiting. I mean, I don't think I'm giving away anything by this, but this lady's a serial killer, and each episode she just kills a different person. Like there's no. That's it. And then she goes on to like a next thing. And it sucks. It's like little funny parts, but it's like it's not a comedy. There's of course the violent killing parts, but it's not a great thriller. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, this shit sucks.
I gotta check it out now. I gotta not check it out, but
you gotta hate watch it because I don't know if you go watch it on double speed, like watch it on double speed or some shit like that. Like just half an episode, like skim through it and just be like, you'll get the gist of it, bro.
But no, to your point, I have heard like in Twitter comments and stuff like that. I've heard that same critique you just gave. Like it show's kind of meh. But what I learned with a show is you don't have the time to like stretch things out, character development like that. You got to get to it. Yeah. And you got to get to it early. And they try to do it with that sex scene, and I don't think it was enough to hold people. I mean, I guess they got 5 episodes out of you. So.
But Donald Glover got 5 episodes out of me. I'm like, Donald Glover, I could sit through 8 or 10 episodes, however, 7 episodes. I could sit through that. Nah, man, that shit it doesn't lead to nothing, man. You can't kill that many people and be like, just have me sitting there. You just keep killing people. Like, you got to make something of it.
So I guess you're not going to finish the season, right?
I might finish it because, like, I'm more than halfway through it, but it'll be like on some maybe in November type shit.
Well, get back if the show turns around, get back on here and you know what I mean, give them that Jonathan Majors follow-up like we did, you know what I'm saying? You can't just run you through the mud and then do that. But yo, Keith, man, always a pleasure doing an episode with you, brother. Thank you for taking time. Congratulations once again, brother. It is a blessing. I do not want to brush right over that, man. You brought a beautiful baby girl into this world. I'm happy for you, man. I met you when we were 13, 14, and to see you where you at now, man, it's a beautiful thing. So keep doing your thing out there.
Actually, like 11, 12, but yeah, man.
Oh, junior high school, right? Yeah, you're right. Shit. I'm fucking up the story. Like, we met in high school. Yo, but nah, peace and blessings, man. Always a good episode rocking out with you, man. The people love it.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Think about it, people, man.
For Shizzle. Peace.
Yo, stay tuned though. Up next, my man AmBro Shizzle. Stay tuned, my man AmBro. Up next, Perfect Talk, Product Talk. Let's get it. All right, y'all, we back, man. As promised, I got my guy in the building. Y'all know him, no introduction necessary. But in case you don't, recording artist AmBro, he's in the building with us. What's going on, brother?
Bless. What's good, man? Just living and appreciating life because life is good.
I like that. I like hearing that, man. I know usually you checking in from Arizona, right? But now you are.
Yeah, usually I'm out in AZ, but I'm on vacation right now in Orlando.
Sunny Florida, you know what I mean? I like to hear that. I like to see, and I thought you was out there for business, but you said you was out there just getting your mind right and networking, and then and also having a little vacation time as well. So you know what I mean? I like that.
Well, it turned out to getting my mind right, but because there was a lot of business opportunities that came my way while I was out here. And I'm just like, I don't want to miss those opportunities also. So it was kind of a blend of both.
No, I like that. No, because you gotta like it's people take vacation like for granted. You know what I'm saying? Like I think we in that culture of just grind, hustle, take no time. You know what I mean? Now that little time to yourself to get your mind right is so important, bro. It's just as important as grinding hard, to be honest with you, I think, because you'll burn out without it.
Honestly, and that's why this vacation happens, because I'm burning out, because I do a lot of work from home, backdoor tech work. I work for DoorDash.
Okay.
And like we have a new department that I created with them, so it's like there's a lot of work there, and there's a lot of figuring out workflows and shit like that. So it's just I work like 6 days a week, working from home, and I don't really get to see that much sunlight unless I step out on a break. So it's like I need some healing, bro. I need to chill for a second. So I was like, yeah, let me go to Florida. I got family out here. My fiance has family out here. It was just mad fun, dude, and I'm having a blast. Like I ain't never had this much fun.
Nah, that's good to hear, man. And something I want to talk to you about that I talk to a lot of the small business owners that we chop it up with is like that work-life balance. I know, and you might still be on there. I know you said you took a little break from social media. I think you came back, you know what I'm saying, or you might still be on it, kind of like, you know what I mean, getting your feet wet back into it. But even that, as important as taking time off from social media, and why I like talking to entrepreneurs on our level is because we still got the day job, right? You know what I mean, to finance our dreams, to finance what it is we want to do. So how do you find that balance? Like you just mentioned, working the day job on top of living out your dreams.
I can honestly say I'm still seeking that balance, you know, but okay. I don't want any one side to take a hit. So it's like, instead of like figuring out a balance, I just thrust myself into it. And, you know, while I'm in it, I'm like, okay, this works for me. This works for me. This doesn't work for me. And if I ever need a break trying to do social media, bro, I'll always take a break. I'll take a break tomorrow. Yeah. And then, like, I was out here and I would just leave my phone. And I left my phone for the whole day for like 14 hours.
How'd that feel?
And it was refreshing, bro. Like, because I'm a social media head. Like, I love to post. I love photos and video. I'm a video. I shoot videos. So I don't know. It's just really refreshing, and you just got to know yourself. Yeah. Like, if you feel pressure to go to social media, you need to stop.
Is that why you took the break, the social media hiatus that you had? How long did it last for? Like, let the people know about it. What the reason
wasn't
behind
too long. It was like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Because I was feeling pressure. I was like, damn, I got to post something to maintain what I'm doing, the work that I'm doing, the consistency I've already put out there. And it's like, dude, I've been constantly posting and doing social media for way too long, like 10 years. And it's like, my soul is gone for a little bit and I need to get it back.
100%, bro. Like, and what I realized too is there's no right answer to that, because everyone's work-life balance is different, because we're all in different situations. Like I'm a creator, you know, I also have a day job, but I also got a kid. You know what I'm saying? So now you throw that extra wrench in there, and like you said, it's just ain't nothing to it but to do it. You know what I mean? I guess they'll figure it out, and I'll look back and be like, how did I get everything done? But while I'm in it, I'm just trying to get stuff done. It's like, all right, let's put this hat on, let's put that hat on. You know what I mean? Whatever the moment requires of me. You know what I mean?
That's the best way to figure it out. Just jump in the battle, bro. And then you'd like, all right, that works. You might fail. You might get stressed out, but then that's when you got to be able to pull yourself away, restart, refresh, and then jump back in the battle. Because with your new lessons, you know what I'm saying? Like, exactly. It's like, all right, I know on social media, this shit was messing with me. And I got to chill on that, you know? I don't need to no longer maintain or post this many times to maintain something. It's like, find what works for you.
Yeah.
Keep your eyes off the followers and the views and the likes, because that will get to you, bro.
No, 100%. Yeah. Nah, and you can say it's fucking with you, bro. We we all adults up here. We know how it really do be fucking with us. Like, nah, it's a burn. Even to what you said earlier with the social media, or maybe you encounter this as an artist. Is like you feel that pressure, especially if you saw momentum coming, you saw gains coming from it. You feel that pressure to be like always keeping up with it. But then, as artists, I consider myself an artist as well. It's like we also want to stay true to our artistic nature, and I'm not just putting shit out just to put shit out. You know what I mean? I'm not just pumping this out just to stay in the zeitgeist of everything. How do you find that balance? Like, because I could think as an artist, you'd be like, man, I take them 2 weeks off from social media. Somebody else is getting ahead, right? That's that culture we were talking about earlier. Somebody else is always working while we're sleeping. Somebody else is always moving. It's like, so how do you balance that out, staying true to your artistic nature, but still trying to avoid the burnout as a human being?
I run my own race.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I used to compete. I was very competitive, especially when I did more hip hop. That's just the nature of that genre. But I realized my message is different now.
Okay.
And I'm trying to be about more healing and mental health and just positivity and things like that, bro. So not many people's running that race. So I'm good. Like, I run my own race. If people don't subscribe to it for a while, that's okay. They'll need it again. So I'm not concerned with it.
I think, yeah, because I think like that nature of being viral, right? Just everybody all looking at you at the same time. You start to think that's the norm because you see it in this person got it, then that person got it. Not even realize it's not just one person that's always viral, right? I mean, there's some people who really know how to play the game well, but for the most part, they end up playing themselves, right? Because they're just trying too hard to always stay what what people are talking about. And I think the more realistic view of it is like you're gonna have videos, reels, clips that come out that don't get the amount of numbers that you like. But if you really look at everyone does that. You got these. If you look at everyone's body of work, you'll see, 100 views. But then this one got 100,000. But then you know what I mean. The next one after that might only got 30. You know what I'm saying? So it's honestly, like it's really that up and down that you see it. That I think we got to more so normalize in our minds. A lot of people will feel like, oh shit, I just got 100,000. This next video I dropped, this next episode I dropped, this next song I dropped, gotta get 200. And it's like that's not always how it works. Like you said, everybody doesn't need everything at the same time. And what's great about what we do is that our body of work is always there. They can go back to it. They can rediscover. Yeah. You can, you know what I mean?
And the thing is, I used to like look at other people's pages and like, oh shit, I gotta do what this person's doing because they're in my lane. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you don't look at the views, you look at the content. You know what I'm saying? You got to figure out what you want to put out there consistently. Like, what is your brand? And it'll come. Like your community, your viewers will come, and just stick to that, man. Don't worry about the build, the journey, or whatever. Just worry about the destination type shit.
Nice. Now tell them about I know you just released a new video, and I want you to tell them the song. You actually premiered it on here on Perfect Talk, which I thought was pretty dope. I liked the song when I heard it, and then the visual matched with it completely. Like it like as much as I like the song, the visual just went neck and neck with that. And tell them about the song, tell them about the video, and I'm gonna ask you a couple more questions about really what made you come up with this vision.
Okay, so Come a Long Way. This is my latest single. It's my favorite single. It allows me to speak my story. It was a dope video. I ended up working with this dude, Hatch, out in Arizona. Shot by Hatch.
Okay.
Local videographer. He's pretty good. He's pretty good. So what I ended up doing is I didn't know what I wanted, but I know I wanted like a coffee vibe. You know that video, West Indies? Yeah. It's very like homely, things like that. So I wanted to get that vibe with kind of like partying a little bit, kind of like celebrating that we've made it this far. So initially I had booked this studio out in Tempe, Arizona, but they shafted me.
Oh, right.
Yeah, they tried to get more money out of me or something like that. Like I tried to book the studio, and then there was like, this section's included in the package, but if you want it clean, you got to pay more money. Wow. It was like, so you're renting shit out dirty? Like, wow. Whatever. But I ended up going on one of these apps that allows you to find locations where you can rent out. And I just rented out that house. Yeah, I rented out that house.
I didn't even know that service existed. Like you could do that.
Yeah, they have. It's like a I really wish I remember where I got that joint from. But,
they didn't pay for the advertising. But it's
like an Airbnb thing though. It's like people own houses, like beautiful houses, and they rent it out for like $50 an hour, $100 an hour.
That's fine.
Yeah. So I was talking to the video guy to like capture the right imagery, and I was trying to like make it cinematic. So like, having that intro where it's like the realization that I've come a long way, having a dialogue with one of my homies. Okay. And just transitioning from that into celebrating it. So it's showing that you're celebrating how far you've come along. And I have a lot of people in the video that's come a long way. So it's all a reflection of that.
Nice. Well, let me ask you a question, because real quick, about the just video making process. Like, did you direct the video, or would you say the videographer directed it? Is that
I directed it?
It directed it. Okay, so what does each role do? What does a videographer do as opposed to does the director come up with the concept and then he takes
So
that to the video?
videographer is a made up term.
Okay.
No bull.
All right.
He's the camera guy. He's the camera guy and the editor.
So you give him your vision, he shoots it, and then he makes the cutting room edits.
Yes.
On the okay.
Yes, but with this particular project, it wasn't handled correctly. You know what I'm saying?
Why so?
Well, first of all, he got the credit for directing. That's the one thing. It's like, but that was just more of the way we move in AZ is like the person who shoots it, you just do your credit shit. But I'm not on that level no more. It shit needs to be right, and I realized that after finishing the project. But there's the camera guy, there's the editor. That's usually the videographer, and then director. He pretty much directs through the video. Like, okay, you move here, you move here. Okay, this would be a better shot. I want this shot here in this location. Just guiding the camera guy through what shots to take.
He's quarterbacking the whole thing.
Quarterbacking the whole thing.
Okay.
And that's pretty much what I did throughout the video, just making sure people are giving certain motions, movements, dancing, shit like that. And then there's like the producer who puts everything together. You know, finds the location, finds the camera guys and the cast and the crew
extras,
and whatever.
If you need extras and stuff like that. Okay.
Yeah. So that's how it's pretty much broken down. There's more to it if you have like big projects, but on a little level.
No.
That makes sense.
No. Because again, because like I didn't know that was made of it. So I'm like, what exactly do the videographer do? Like, you know what I'm saying? But like, it's good to know that, and just really how like every single project comes together. And I'm assuming when an artist comes to you, they might want you to play those different roles. Like, hey, I might want to direct it as an artist, but can you put it all together for me as a videographer? Or can you you know what I mean, find us a director if we need one and things like that.
Right.
What I liked about this was though, it was a real house party vibe to it. You know what I mean? A little like a nice little energy that matched with the song. That, you know what I'm saying? It reminded me of just like, hey, kicking it at a weekend party, and you know, everybody really celebrating the spoils. You know what I mean? And the fruits of their labor, pretty much. Yeah. And I like that. I like that you stay on that. It's like a humble vibe, you know what I mean? But not in a negative way. It's like I hate that too much when you see a lot of people get successful. You see them, you know, advancing from where they were at or growing, and they don't always keep that humility. What I like about what comes through your music, and I think it's something that's intentional, is that, you know, you keep a humbleness with what you do. On top of being like, you still aspire to be that person. It's not like a humbleness where it's like I'm lower. It's like, nah, I kind of want to roll like that when I get some success. I kind of want to move like that and still be grateful of the blessings that come my way. Still be grateful of the achievements that I have, man. What do you do in your personal life that I think makes that easier to come through in your music? You know what I mean? Like, are you big on meditation? You big on prayer?
Ganja, man. Straight ganja.
Keeps you positive. No, that's
straight ganja. And I do meditate and yoga. Like, it started with me doing things that I saw people who were like the way I wanted to be. That makes sense.
So explain that a little more.
Like for instance, musically, I would look at how J. Cole moves.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And he moves a certain way. He doesn't care about his hair per se. He cares, but he's
not dressing in a bunch of designer clothes to try to impress you, or jewelry or stuff like that. Yeah, Keith alluded to that early in this episode when speaking about J. Cole, which is funny you brought that up.
It's just kind of that energy. So like, there's like yogis out there or spiritual enthusiasts out there that I'll just like kind of take a look at, and it's like, you know what, that's good for my life. And I'll just take it on and try to see if it's a good fit, and if it sticks, it sticks. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So
is weed legal out there?
Not in Orlando.
No, I know it's not in Orlando.
In Arizona, all the way to recreational.
Okay, no, that's fire, because actually New York, it's been legal for like over a year now, but they just in the capital region where I'm at, and it's literally like around the corner from me. It was a CBD spot, and they just became an official like THC dispensary now. You know
That's
what I
true.
mean? So yeah, like, and I drove by it in the past 2 days. Like yesterday was the first day that they opened up, line around the block. You know what I'm saying? You would think it's just like new iPhone coming out back in the day. But it's like it's. I say all that to say you kind of said it in a joking way, but I think that was your honest answer. Like ganja do help. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's beautiful to see where it's come, not only medically, you know what I'm saying, to see that the acceptance that it has, but even just recreationally, you know what I mean? To see
Honestly,
like, yeah, to see like this is something that
it really, like, I'm glad the narrative's changing behind weed because it helps in so many different aspects. Like, I'm trying to get my mom to start using it because she has a lot of pain.
Yeah.
You know, like things like that. So
I said it on this podcast before. Like, I'll be sending my parents CBD, you know what I'm saying, to help with that pain and stuff like that and things that they have. But even just like, you know what I'm saying, actual THC and everything, you know, do your research on it, make sure you know it. But even like the rise of edibles, you know what I'm saying? People don't even have to smoke it no more. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Tinctures. I know people that put it in their drinks, you know what I'm saying? So it's pretty dope. Like, I think that we've been able to have that acceptance of it because it is very beneficial to society as a whole. So something we like to do around here is shout out to my guy Spec. We said earlier in this episode, thoughts and prayers with him too. He's actually recovering from COVID.
Spec.
Yeah. He's still recovering from COVID. And something we do around here in honor of my guy Spec is called put some respect on my name. You know what I mean? And what we do is we say if we either got a little respect for something or a little bit of speculation. So I'm gonna hit you with a couple topics and just get your opinion and stuff that's been going on in popular culture. Just to see what you might think about it. You know what I mean? And this actually will make this a entertainment related. Put some respect on my name. All these guys are, you know, entertainers right now, and I consider you an entertainer as well. So I would like to get from your entertainer standpoint how you feel about some of these situations.
My name come up, respect. Yeah.
Let's go.
Stop playing with my
Tekashi 6ix9ine found himself in a situation where he was jumped at a LA Fitness in Florida. It was caught on camera. And it probably had to do with he snitched on, you know, some of his people that he called friends or gang members or whatever the case may be to get himself out of some trouble, but was still kind of walking around like everything was honky-dory. Now I'll answer first with this one. Why I guess whether I have respect or speculation for it, and something I'll say about hip hop is there's a lot of hypocrite. What's the word I'm looking for? Hypocrites. In the world of hip hop. Or just or hypocritical ideas is actually probably a better way to say it, because like a lot of these concepts of just like I'm never being in love, you know what I'm saying? Like that's not realistic. Or even something as simple as the snitching rule. Like you see like, oh, snitching is frowned upon, but on the same end, we got movies made about people who snitch. You know what I'm saying? We've glorified people who snitch. And we've just known about the legal system. The legal system exists because of people flipping on their friends or their co-defendants or things of that nature. So we know it exists way more than the culture alludes to it. And then something I think Tekashi did that was big on why he blew up. Now I wasn't a big fan of his music or anything like that, but why I think he got popular was because he was pointing out the hypocrites in hip hop. He's pointing out the hypocritical ideas. And he was like, I'm going to talk about your favorite gangster rappers and nothing's going to happen to me. And it was coming to light. So now, while I think I got a little bit of respect for this situation, and I do not condone violence in any way, but it's like you can't have a culture saying that, yo, snitch is bad or we frown upon it, and then you got somebody walking around like everything's honky-dory. It makes the whole system look crazy. It makes it look like that. So in that respect, I guess I got to put respect on it. It's like, yo, if we're going to put an idea out there as a culture, somebody lived up to it. Do I think it's smart what these 3 individuals did or however many were involved? Not at all. As news is coming out, some of them are being identified. You know what I mean? We're finding out more stuff about them. We don't even know if they have a personal connection to anybody that 6ix9ine might have snitched on, which makes it seem a little even crazier. And for that, I got speculation because I'm like, I would hope you wouldn't put yourself in trouble just to prove a point of how, you know, gangster the idea is, how gangster something that we know is built on a hypocritical idea is. So it's like this situation is kind of a little bit weird, but I guess at the end of it, I got respect for hip hop saying that punishments will be dealt out and this being it. And I even got respect that they could have killed him in there, but they didn't. They old school ass whooping. Not that was good, but I don't want nobody to die. I don't want to see no violence. And you know what I mean? Old school ass whooping still sends a message. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So I guess just looking at all of it, you got respect or a little bit or speculation for the situation as a whole?
I was gonna say speculation until you said that last part about the old school ass whooping. Because honestly, though, some people do need to be put in their place. Like, but I'm not an advocate of violence, and I'm sure you're not as well.
No.
And because these days we're trying to change society, it's just not a cool thing. That's such a old school mindset.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like those were probably grown men beating on another grown man.
It's
like,
high school shit,
job?
Right?
like you clocked out of work to go beat on another human being? Like, are you kidding me? And that's the thing. Like, to find time to have these negative type of mindsets and just put your hand on another person, like what I don't put this out there, but what if 6ix9ine was strapped?
He would have got away with it. He would have been in the right because he would have been stand your ground and they got in Florida.
Yeah.
He would have got away with it. Yeah.
Three grown men, 3 families would have been ruined.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even 4, because who knows how it would have affected Tekashi. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like you gotta think broader, bro. Like, it's like I got beef with people. People got beef with me.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I made a comment on Instagram and some dude was like, oh, throwing shade towards me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, I could be like, yo, next time I see him, it's going down. Or he could be like that with me. And then everything I'm trying to build is over, bro.
Yeah.
I'm good. I don't respect that shit, bro. Like,
and something I think with me and you that I think is similar is I don't think we hold grudges for that long. Like, we get over shit because we know the heaviness that holding a grudge has on us personally. Like, even I said with the Chris Rock special that came out, I was like, shout out to Chris Rock in the Twitter generation to hold his feelings in for long enough to get the bag from it from Netflix. But at the end of the day, I can't be mad about something that happened a year ago. Like, I either would have dealt with it or got over it.
He wasn't even mad anymore. Like,
no, he wasn't. He got the bag from it, which I think is smart. It was kind of like have that patience to get your revenge type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But in reality, if I was gonna look at something 12 months later, I probably still wouldn't even want to be talking about it. You know what I mean?
You know how many blunts I would have smoked within 12 months? Like, I wouldn't even remember that shit, bro.
The brain cells would have went away. You know what I mean?
Yeah, all those memories are gone. New memories come.
Nah, stay with the positive, man. Next up, though, respect or speculation. And I know you've seen this. We spoke about it on last episode. Jonathan Majors got himself caught up in some legal trouble in a domestic dispute. He was arrested. And a lot of conflicting stories came out. We've heard stories of if he made the phone call, the 911 call, then we've heard others that he hasn't. Then we've also seen text messages come out allegedly from the victim in this domestic dispute.
Oh, I didn't hear that. Oh, yeah. Man.
And I think that, if I'm not mistaken, TMZ said that Jonathan Majors, his legal team actually released these text messages, which is kind of weird. I think me and Keith alluded to that earlier in this episode that your legal team will release it. But it's kind of like you see a lot of legal battles being played out in the court of public opinion. And they got to win that Twitter battle. They got to win that Instagram battle because that might be the jury you have in a couple months.
That's true. That's true.
So you see a lot of this happening nowadays. I even said earlier, Michael Irvin, he caught a sexual harassment issue at the NFL Network at the Super Bowl. And it's like his lawyer had to come out with like play-by-play of the actual interaction. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, it's weird to see that outside of a courtroom, you know what I'm saying, in a press conference. But in this whole Jonathan Majors situation, I guess what I want to get your opinion on is like, you saw the opinion on Black Twitter that Jonathan Majors is done, that his career is over. And I guess I'm like, how are we saying something like that without finding all the facts, without letting the situation play itself out? Like, the Army has commercials with him in it, and they decided to cut him. They're not going to play him anymore. And I think they've been the only ones that kind of was on that cancel, like, let's hop on it, instant reaction type of thing. But it's a dangerous place where you see people try to cancel you for allegations. So I guess, do you agree with that his career might be over? Or you think there's a bounce back here? You got respect or speculation that Jonathan Majors' career is done?
Honestly, it all seems like a bunch of speculation because we're not getting any clear information. Like his lawyers and the articles that I came across is like the white girl made these false claims multiple times and retracted it. So it's like it could be speculation, but it could be like intimidation also. I don't know. Like just because Jonathan.
I did hear something in New York though. When the police come out, they have to make, if there's any like gray area, like bruises or anything like that, or you know what I mean, they kind of gotta make an arrest. They can't just leave the two people there, because I guess that comes back on them, as you know what I mean. So I
And
think
that's the thing, right? I guess I didn't get that. What, like, was she bruised up and like banged up,
in the text
like
messages,
a big motherfucker like Jonathan Majors was hitting on her? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. 'Cause he is a big guy, exactly. But I believe she did have bruises on her neck area, from what the text messages said. So it's like it's tricky. You know what I'm saying? It's caught up.
tricky.
Yeah.
Because you know how they try to do black men when you start getting a little success in Hollywood. So it's
exactly.
like he's not their Denzel. So because they don't look like what they would want a black man to be successful in Hollywood, they might shut him down. He might have too much power or might be gaining too much power in Hollywood.
To your point,
because he's popular right now, and like he's probably one of my favorite actors right now.
In the Marvel universe, he's Kang, which I guess is supposed to be across multiple different movies in the Marvel universe as a bad as a villain. So you know what I mean? That's kind of like we're building this around you, so to speak. We're building this universe.
Like he has a whole saga of movies coming out based around him. So I just want the truth. I can't really. It's all speculation for me right now. You know what I'm saying? Like
I agree with that. Yeah, and I also think the truth comes out pretty fast, and the fact that this truth is kind of being slow rolled makes me kind of. I think that works in his favor. I think that kind of is like, there's because people are quick to want to expose you, to cancel you, to just, you know what I'm saying, show something else. So the fact that we're still 2-3 weeks in there with question marks makes me think that this might be a gray area that might work out in his favor. So
yeah, I think he's gonna be okay, because honestly, he would have felt there would have been more heat out there if it was really like a bad situation. I mean, Army did pull. You said Army pulled their contract with
commercials. Yeah, he had 2 commercials out with the Army.
I don't know. We gotta see the fact. That sucks. You mess with the man's bread right there.
And I mean, that just goes to any job. It's just like I had a job at a warehouse where you're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. They're like, no, if you get arrested, we actually let you go until you figure that legal situation out. And I'm like, in what country is this? You know what I'm saying? Like, as we are right now, we should be looking at Jonathan Majors innocent only because you're innocent until proven guilty. You know what I'm saying? Let's.
We have nothing else to base it off of. Like
that's how y'all talking.
I like him as an actor. Oh, he's innocent. Like no,
a lot of people roll like that too. Oh yeah, you see
like,
that.
Kang the Conqueror is innocent, and that's that.
Before we get out of here, like I said, it's the entertainer version of Put Some Respect on My Name, and we got to talk about the #1 entertainer out there in the world, Donald Trump. You know what I mean? The entertainer in chief, the guy trying to be president again. A couple weeks ago said he was going to be arrested. We were like, when's this arrest happening? What's going on? The indictment came down this week. They decided to indict Trump, you know what I mean? Trying to get him on election fraud, I believe using election funds to give hush money to Stormy Daniels, former porn star Stormy Daniels, for whatever interaction that they had. Now, I ain't gonna front. I didn't think this was even gonna happen. I thought like, he was putting that out there. He was trying to get some attention for it, just get his election rolling again. So the fact that the indictment even happened, I'm like, damn, I guess I've been proven, I got respect. I've been proven wrong, but I ain't gonna front. I still got speculation that this is even gonna go anywhere. I think this is one of them things that they do to like try to embarrass him, try to put his name, run his name through the mud. But I can't imagine that this is gonna go anywhere to prison time or anything like that. And I don't think it's gonna slow down his reign. So I got a little speculation for it. How you feel?
Trump gets access to a lot of information. Like just because he's no longer the president, he has his guys. So if he makes claims like such claims like that, it's probably coming down the pipeline. You know what I'm saying? Like, they might come after you. So for Trump, he's a simple-minded dude. So he's like, oh, they're definitely coming after me.
Then. Yeah, let me leak that out. Let me leak that.
So he has his guys. Like I would take some validity with what Trump says now over when he was a president.
Because he can move even dirtier now.
Right, because he has nothing to lose right now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, he don't gotta behave within any like set of rules. He back to rich boy rules.
He's back to rich boy rules.
Yeah.
You know
he's probably more limited.
So
as
if he says they're gonna indict him, he got his homie who told him like, "Yo, they coming for you." So it's take some validity with it, but I mean, it's Trump. I don't really pay him no mind. So,
and also I think this might make him more popular if he comes out victorious. Like, it's only gonna make his followers feel emboldened. You know what I mean? So it's like,
damn, that's gonna suck.
Yeah. So no, I guess what I really hope is actual legal justice being served and not political theater being served. You know what I mean? We're not doing this to sway some type of upcoming election to help Ron DeSantis get the lead. You know what I mean? I overthink that
Those
type of petty
lines are
stuff.
so blurred now, though.
It probably is. Yep. To your point.
You know what I'm
probably...
saying? Like everything's been in theatrical in politics lately. It's like so dramatic, dude. Like,
no, you're right.
Like Young and the Restless type shit. You know? So it's like I can't tell anymore. Nowadays you just gotta kind of like do your research or wait and see.
You're right. And that's I think what everybody needs. Take a beat, wait and see, man. And on that note, man, that's another episode in the books. We're gonna definitely leave them with the information. But you got a YouTube link that the people out there can check out?
Yeah. So I'm out on YouTube as AmBro, AMBRO, and I have the YouTube link as well. I'll share with you. You guys can tap in with that.
Yeah, send that to me. I'll put it right below in the, you know what I'm saying, so the people can see it. Y'all can check that out. And I'll also have the description, the link in the description. So check that out and go check out AmBro's new video. What's the name of it one more time?
Come a Long Way. It's Come a Long Way.
Available on YouTube video premiere.
Available on YouTube,
and also
yeah.
on all streaming platforms, right?
It's available on all streaming platforms, whatever
Spotify.
You listen to music on. Yeah. Even if you're on TikTok or Instagram and you doing the story stuff, it's available there as well.
Ooh, I like that. I like when I can throw your tunes on the stories. I love that, bro. Yo, also, where can they find you at on Instagram or TikTok or wherever you social media? Where can they find you at?
You can find me on IG at AmBro IG. That's AmBro IG. It's very simple. And anything else is just AmBro, AM_BRO. You will find me.
Nice. Your boy DJ Playboy. You can find me on Twitter at DJ Playboy. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Pliccapeezy, PLICCAPEEZY. Also follow Perfect Talk on Instagram at Perfect Talk Radio, on Twitter at Perfect Talkers. Follow the website www.perfecttalkpodcast.com. Every episode of the Perfect Talk Podcast episode, I do a radio show I do with my brother DJ Show, Money Talks Radio, and then my other radio show, The Night Shift, as well as Ayo Niche and Friends, the live podcast we do every Wednesday. You can find that on the website, or you can just watch it live on Instagram. You go follow at Ayo Niche. Follow your boy at Pliccapeezy. I'm sure you can find a link to get to where you got to, you know what I mean? And we'll have all that information in there. Every episode of Perfect Talk is available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and we're trying to get on some more platforms. But wherever your podcasts are found, you know, search us in there. Search at Perfect Talk Radio, or search Perfect Talk Radio. Typically we come up, you know what I mean? If you can't find, holler at your guy DJ Playboy, I'll send you a link. I got the link tree in the bio and all that. So, you know what I mean? Come check it out. And just, everybody out there, keep doing what you do. Oh, shout out to everybody on YouTube checking us out right now. Keep doing what you've been doing and subscribe. Hit that like button. Check us out. Like I said, and go check out my guy AmBro on YouTube. He got the video dropping right now. So peace and love to everybody out there. AmBro, usually around this time, I like to ask either Keith or Spec, whoever I'm rocking on an episode with, what they watching nowadays on television, what they listening, or books they reading, any type of you know what I mean, media that you're taking in right now that you like, that you want to showcase.
I'm actually my sis put me onto this new series called Warrior on HBO Max.
Okay.
It's like a kung fu style series, but the filming is like amazing. So I would recommend anybody check it out who likes kung fu action, and it's like very modern, like Warrior? Modern style filming. Like it's really good.
I was being keepers talking about this a couple of weeks ago. How come everything HBO drop be heat? Everything is fire.
Yo, pristine work, bro. Like they're on their shit. Like 10, it's crazy, dude.
10 for 10 on everything that they drop, bro. I just
even that Titans. Is it Titans? I think Titans the DC series.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Like the Teen Titans.
It was amazing, dude. Like
I just really started watching Last of Us. I just started getting into Last of Us. I wanted the whole thing to end so I could just run through it and binge through it. But one episode in, and I'm like, yo, this shit fire. So you know,
like
I'm having
person that
late.
told me that.
Oh, really?
yeah, I gotta check it then.
Yeah. I like to let everything rock. And the funny thing is, I listen to so many podcasts, that when people will start talking about it, I just skip past it. I'm like, I know I'm gonna want to watch that show. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be missing whole chunks of a podcast trying to keep up and not have spoiler alerts. But yeah, go check out Last of Us. Go check out Warrior. You know what I mean? Go check out all that. I'm gonna go check out some lotion. I'm looking ashy right now. And
I'm about to go check out this pool over here. And,
AmBro, enjoy the rest of your vacation. I appreciate you checking in with us for Perfect Talk, Product Talk, taking the time with us today, and say goodbye to the people, my brother.
Yo, salute. Have a blessed day. Stay positive, and definitely tap in with my boy Plicca.
Hey, right now, I'm going to leave y'all with a clip because I'm the king of cross promo. I'm going to leave y'all with a clip of Ayo Nisha and Friends where we was actually showcasing AmBro's newest video. You know what I mean? So go check that out. And then right after you're done, go to AmBro's YouTube page and check out the Come a Long Way video, man. That's how we doing over here. Perfect Talk, Product Talk. We up out of here, baby. Peace.
Yes.
We here at Ayo Ear Candy real quick where we introduce a song that has definitely that hit our radar. This song right here is by the homie AmBro. He was definitely he's been mentioned on the show quite a lot. And AmBro is originally from Boston.
Brooklyn, actually.
Brooklyn.
Yeah, he does spend time out in Boston. Now he's out there in Arizona. Yes. So he just came out with a video for his song entitled "Come a Long Way." Y'all check it out right here.
You remember days all alone. Me myself, I was homeless. Oh, my life was a beat. Oh, my life was a beat. Let's not never stay down.
Thank you to everyone who tapped in and watched my new music video, left a comment, shared, all of that.
Hey, congratulations, AmBro. Come a long way.